Good morning, everyone. Welcome to First Church of Religious Science. Welcome to everyone now signing in for our Zoom call. Welcome to those of you who have been here for the meditation, which has preceded the lesson now. And I want to give a special shout out to everyone who's watching us on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, and X. I'm grateful for everyone's presence, everyone who's here with us now in this moment, and those of you watching throughout the day. Our lessons are now being watched around the clock, I'm aware, reaching out, touching people's minds and hearts all over the world, and that's pretty exciting for us. We've come a long way. We're honored also to be a part of your spiritual journey. We gather here not just on Sundays, as we are now, but 3 times a week, every Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. We have a creative living series hosted by James Nawali, our practitioner. And every Thursday, I facilitate the Louise self-healing gathering based upon the book, You Can Heal Your Life. So that class is a time for our inner work and transformation. All of these gatherings are offered freely to you. If anyone feels moved to support this work, we deeply appreciate your generosity. In every gathering, there's support options in the chat rooms and also on the social media platforms themselves. So thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your thoughts, your energy, and contributing to this vibrant community in any way you do. So let's begin our journey today by acknowledging the infinite possibilities that lie within each and every one of us. Today's title is The Infinite Fountain Within. So I have a poem that resonates deeply with today's lesson. It's called The Well of Light. Deep within the quiet night, a well of light does glow, a source of love and joy so bright, from it all goodness flows. Draw from this well, and you shall see an endless stream of grace. It fills your heart, it sets you free to love, to heal, to embrace. There's no limit to what it can give, this well within us all. Through it, we truly live, answering the divine call. And so it is. So the title of today's lesson, once again, is The Infinite Fountain Within. We're going to discover our divine potential. There's something truly amazing about everyone. It's because we have this something within us. And it isn't just a comforting thought when I say that you are one with the one and that you're amazing. It's a profound truth. And when you embrace this truth that you're one with Spirit, it will transform your entire life. Today, we're going to explore what it means to recognize and to tap into this infinite fountain within, and how tapping into it and communing with it will empower you to live fully and joyfully. The ancient wisdom found in spiritual teachings of every single culture seem to remind us that we're more than what we appear to be. From Corinthians, I'm going to paraphrase chapter 3, we are reminded of a profound truth. And it's this, it's a question. Do you not know that you are the temple of the Spirit? And do you not know that the Spirit of life dwells within ye? Do you not know, again, that you are the temple of the Spirit? And do you not know that the Spirit of life dwells within you? This statement is not a poetic metaphor. It's a powerful declaration of our innate divinity. It affirms that the presence, the energy, and the very essence of life reside within each and every one of us, and always waiting to be recognized by us, embraced by us, and expressed through us. In religious science, we teach that you're not merely a physical being navigating a material world. You are, in fact, inlets and outlets of divine activity. conduits through which the energy of the universe flows. This energy, this one life force, is not something separate from you. It's the essence of who you are, your true nature, your divine identity. This infinite fountain that we speak of is not some distant wellspring that we must seek far and wide. It's not hidden in a far-off place. It's accessible only. It's not that it's hidden and accessible only to the enlightened few. No, this fountain is right here within each and every one of you. Every week I'm inviting you to take a journey without a distance. This is where the fountain is located, deep at the center of your being. It's the source of who you are. There's a divine spark within you that animates your life. There's a divine spark within all of us that's animating our lives. But how often do we connect with it? How often do we tap into this source? How often do we remind ourselves that we are indeed one with it, vessels of its infinite potential? It's very easy for us to get caught up in a world of action and reaction, hustle and bustle of daily living. And it's easy for us to be consumed by the demands and distractions that surround us. And in the middle of all this, we often forget. We often forget to turn inward, which is where all our power is. We forget to connect with this presence that's always available to us. In religious science, we talk about the importance of developing a conscious connection with this inner source. Or you might hear me say, commune with it. We want to come from a sense of communion with Source. We want to learn to get connected. We want to have a sense and a feeling of connection with Source as much as we can, and as often as we can. We teach here that there is one energy, one love permeating everything and everyone, and that by turning inward, we can align ourselves with this energy. As we align ourselves with this energy, we will allow it to flow through us freely and powerfully. Many of us seek to commune with this divine presence through practices such as affirmations, which we speak of nearly every week. Many of you seek to do it through meditation. You seek to connect through affirmative prayer, affirmations, journal writing, meditation. Or some of us simply take a moment of stillness at different times in the day to tune in. Or we talk about taking a pause once or twice or several times a day. We're all attempting, I believe, to become more conscious of it, and we're inviting it into our awareness. As Louise Hay's teaching reminds us, it's in these moments of conscious connection that we tap into this infinite wellspring of love, wisdom, and power within us. There's a beautiful song associated with the Louise Hay material that speaks to this process, with lyrics that reflect the dance of remembering and forgetting. The actual lyric was remembering and forgetting. It's the game that we play. When you are remembering who you are and what you are, you're connected with Source. And when you're forgetting, you've allowed yourself to wander off into a story or something. And what we're always doing is gently bringing ourselves back. So we sometimes forget our divine nature. It happens to all of us. The act of remembering, though, and turning inward and connecting with Source is always within our reach. This connection has been called the best-kept secret of the ages. The very thing that people have sought throughout history, often without realizing it, was within them all along. The divine presence is not distant. It's not elusive. It's as close as our own breath and ready to respond to us in the very moment we invite it in. This process of remembering and connecting isn't just a momentary act. It's a profound realization that we are and always have been one with the infinite. And in that realization that I'm one with the one, we discover that this divine presence not only resides within us, but actively responds to our thoughts and our intentions and our heartfelt desires. It's an incredible, life-altering discovery, one that reveals the boundless potential that we carry within. So let's go back to our question. How often do we turn to this infinite fountain within? How often do we make the time to invite this divine presence into our awareness in our daily living? Because it won't be the uninvited guest. It waits for our conscious invitation, our willingness to engage and commune with it. For many of us, this journey of remembering, of consciously reconnecting with the divine within, is one of the most important aspects of our spiritual growth. It's about cultivating a relationship with that infinite presence, learning to listen to it, listen to its guidance, and allowing it to express itself through all that we do. You'll hear us say from time to time that all thought is creative. Yes, our words and thoughts are keys that unlock this divine potential. Louise Hay, again, who was a practitioner here and also a pioneer in the New Thought movement, often emphasized the incredible power we hold with our words. She would say every thought we think is creating our future. When we speak, we direct the flow of energy within us. How often do we make time to invite this divine presence into our awareness? Because again, it won't be the uninvited guest. So we want to invite it in. Just like a radio that's playing the most beautiful music, the divine presence is always there, waiting for us to tune into it. It won't force its way into our lives. It's up to us to turn the dial and allow its melody to fill our hearts. For many of us, this journey of remembering, of consciously reconnecting with the divine within, is one of the most important aspects of our life, of our spiritual life. So we want to cultivate this relationship. We want to learn to listen to its guidance. Emerson suggested that it's wooing us. So let's take the time to listen to it, to its guidance. You'll hear us say from time to time, again, all thought is creative. Our words and thoughts are keys that unlock this divine potential. Again, Louise Hay said, every thought we think is creating our future. So if we're constantly being critical of anything, of ourselves or other people, if we're focusing on what we lack, we're building barriers in that divine flow. So we really want to release all of this. But when we affirm our worth, when we affirm our love and we affirm our potential, we open the gates to that infinite fountain within. So let's say together today, I am worthy of all the good life has to offer. I am worthy of all the good life has to offer, and I am a channel for divine love. We can say it together now. I am worthy of all the good life has to offer, and I am a channel for divine love. Imagine your words as you say these beautiful affirmations as pebbles dropped into a still pond. Each word creates ripples that extend far beyond our initial splash, beyond the initial splash. When these words are positive, loving, and aligned with our true nature, they create waves of change that can transform not just our own lives, but the world around us. Today, I'd like you to, for a moment, imagine this presence within you. Allow yourself to sense it. And sense it as a fountain, something this presence is constantly bubbling up with goodness, ready to overflow into every area of your life. This isn't simply a nice image, it's reality. This fountain of divine love, wisdom, and peace within you is always renewing itself, always ready to flow. Louise Hay often used the metaphor of a garden to describe our minds. She would do a lot of talk about planting seeds. She suggested that we lovingly tend to our garden, pulling out the weeds and nurturing the plants that we want to grow. In a similar way, we want to take care of our minds. The fountain within us is like a well-tended garden, always flourishing, always ready to produce an abundance of beauty and nourishment. Think about the times when you felt that your capacity to love, your capacity to forgive, or to be patient was limited, or where you felt you were really stretched. It's easy to feel like there's only so much we can give before we've had it and we've run out. But when we tap into this infinite source, when we center ourselves, we really go there and sense it and feel it, we realize that there is no limit to what we can express. No limit to our love, patience, forgiveness. They're not finite resources. These are part of the endless supply of divine goodness that's always available to us. Ernest Holmes would remind us that life is a mirror and it will reflect back to the thinker what he or she is thinking into it. If we see ourselves as limited, that's what we believe, then that's what life will reflect back to us. But if we see ourselves more expansively, if we see ourselves as the unlimited divine beings that we actually are, then life will mirror back that reality to us. This fountain of goodness within us is constantly reflecting back to us the thoughts that we have about ourselves. Today's title refers to the infinite fountain within. The fountain that we're speaking of, again, isn't a poetic concept. It's the very essence of our being. As Ralph Waldo Emerson beautifully wrote years ago, what lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. This infinite fountain within you is the source of all creativity, all inspiration, and all joy. Remember always that you are one with the one. It is from this inner energy, this wellspring that we're calling it today, that we draw our strength, our resilience, and our ability to love without condition. So let's take another moment to reflect on this together. You could close your eyes if you want to, and affirm quietly to yourself, the spirit of divine love is within me, and it overflows into every aspect of my life. Again, the spirit of divine love is within me, and it overflows into every aspect of my life. I am an infinite being, capable of infinite love, infinite wisdom, and infinite joy. Now let's talk about what might be holding you back from fully experiencing this divine flow that we just spoke of. Most of us have a few barriers. Some of us have a lot of barriers. Barriers could be doubts, they could be fears, they could be old beliefs, they resentments, many things, the things that keep this flow from, these are the things that keep this flow from emerging into our lives. So let's think about this for a second. These barriers take on the form of grievances, unspoken anger, unresolved issues, hostilities. Perhaps you're not speaking to someone now, or a family member, or a loved one, or maybe you're holding on to a resentment toward a former friend. It could be anything like that. Harboring feelings of bitterness or betrayal. These types of emotions, though they may feel justified, act like dams within us, holding back the divine flow, preventing the flow from reaching its full potential. When we hold on to these negative emotions, it's as if we're placing stones in the stream of our own consciousness, creative blockages that will disrupt the natural flow of love, peace, joy, and happiness. Over time, these blockages can build up, creating dis-ease or leading to a life that feels stagnant, disconnected, and heavy with unresolved pain. Here's the thing. Here's the good news. These barriers do not have to be permanent. The first step to releasing them is simply becoming aware of their presence. Ask yourself today, is there anything I'm holding on to? Just note it if there is anything. If there's anything, what is it? What am I holding on to that no longer works for me or no longer serves me? Or another question, where in my life am I allowing old hurts, or what I call ancient grievances, to shape my present moment. Where am I holding on? What am I holding on to? So whatever it is, bring it to mind with the intention of having the willingness to letting it go. Willingness is the key. It was told to me many years ago that will open the door. The willingness is the key. We want to have the willingness to let it go. And if you develop some willingness, you'll create a small crack in this dam, because you want to be in the state of flow. So you can begin to release the pressure and allow the divine flow to start moving again. This doesn't mean you have to forget or condone what's happened, but it does mean that you're choosing to no longer allow these emotions to control your life. You're choosing to make space for healing, for peace. You're making space for this divine energy to flow through you once again, or to flow more easily through you. Louise often reminded us that forgiveness is for us, not for anyone else. By forgiving, we set ourselves free from the prison of resentment. This is the key to breaking down these barriers, finding the courage to forgive, to release, and to let the divine flow through every part of our being. But there's good news again. Any of these barriers, any blocks, any obstructions can be removed. You've heard me say in many lessons, they're only thoughts I'm having, and thoughts can be changed. So it starts with awareness, acknowledging that they exist. In other words, we don't want to be in denial about it. If they're there, they're there. And then we acknowledge that they exist, and we also acknowledge that they don't in any way serve us. Maybe you've been holding on to a belief that you're not good enough, or that there's something inherently wrong with you. Maybe you're hanging on to your past, a place where you feel you've failed. Whether that's true or not, it doesn't matter. If you feel that you have and you're holding on to it, or it's something that you've been carrying with you for a long time, these beliefs, once again, are like blocks in the river, obstructing the flow of divine goodness. Louise often spoke about the importance of forgiveness and removing these barriers. She taught that by holding on to resentment or anger, it's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to somehow suffer. Again, when we forgive, we're not just freeing the other person. We're definitely freeing ourselves. We are removing the barriers that keep the divine flow from moving freely through our lives. Ernest Holmes also emphasized the importance of releasing these blocks. He said, as we let go of these old ideas and accept new ones, the law of mind in action will produce the desired results. This is the power of our thoughts and our beliefs. They create our reality. By letting go of all of this, we allow the divine flow to move freely through us, bringing us peace, joy, happiness, and abundance. Visualize this with me. As you release these barriers, the divine presence within you begins to flow freely, like a powerful geyser, bursting forth with unstoppable energy. This is who you are. With all this unstoppable energy, this is your true nature, waiting to be expressed, waiting to bless not just your life, but the world itself, the world around you. To fully release this flow, we need to set clear intentions. Just as a captain would set a course, we too must set the course of our own lives. This is our power, our executive power, by aligning with this divine flow. Without setting a course or having an intention, we risk being tossed about by the winds of circumstance. But with intention, we are guided toward our true destination. This again is what Ernest Holmes was talking about when he said there's power for good in the universe, and you can use it. We use it by setting an intention, by becoming clear. Ernest Holmes said that we have this executive power, and this is really, again, what he was talking about. When you use it, you can select, you can choose to set our direction or our intention. This will help keep you focused on the path ahead. Without intention, we risk, again, being tossed around, but with intention, we're guided towards our destination. You might think of a time where you didn't have a set intention, where you weren't clear. If you felt like something was missing. We teach this religious science to children. We talk about a stagecoach, and the stagecoach, when you get inside the stagecoach, that's your consciousness. The invitation when we're teaching religious science to the children is to get up on the platform and take up the reins. And there are stallions in front of you. And the idea here is use that power, pick up the reins and drive. So set the course, set the intention. So when you don't have clear intentions, it's like that stagecoach. It'll go over hills and it'll crash and everything else. So we want to take a pause, align ourselves, recognize and know that there is power, and let's decide to use it. Let's set an intention, a clear intention. And when you do, and be committed to the direction you're going, you'll begin to see things fall in place. Louise often encouraged people to set daily intentions. She would use affirmations like, "Today I choose to see the beauty in everything and everyone around me," or "I am open and receptive to all the good the universe has to offer." Simple but profound affirmations can set the tone for the entire day, guiding our thoughts and actions in a positive direction. So today, let's have an intention to set a powerful course. Affirm with me, "My intention is to allow the divine goodness within me to flow freely and abundantly. I set my sails in the direction of love, peace, and joy, and I allow this divine flow to guide me every step of the way." Living in alignment with this divine flow means embracing abundance in every area of our life, recognizing that there's always more than enough. There's more than enough love. There's more than enough joy. There's more than enough peace. There's more than enough anything and everything. This abundance is not something you have to earn or achieve. It's your birthright as a child of the divine. From Philippians chapter 4, we get assurance. Source will meet your needs according to its glorious riches, suggesting that whatever we need, whether it's love, wisdom, strength, or guidance, it's already within you, waiting to be expressed. Louise was a strong believer that we live in an abundant universe, not just in a material universe of wealth, but in every aspect of life. She would often remind us that the universe is fully abundant and there is enough for everyone. When we align ourselves with this truth and really understand it and believe it, we open the floodgates to all the good that life has to offer. So let's make this commitment to today live in this abundance. Let's commit to allowing this divine flow, allowing the spirit within to guide our thoughts, our actions, and our lives. Let's commit to being channels of love, peace, and joy in the world. And as we think about the title of today's lesson, The Infinite Fountain Within, remember, this fountain is not just a source of inspiration. It is the very essence of who you are. It is the divine potential that lies within you, within each of us, that's waiting to be recognized and realized. When you intentionally go within, get connected, and remember who you are and what you are, and tap into this infinite wellspring, you are not only discovering your divine potential, but you're also opening yourself up to a life of boundless possibilities. So let's take a moment, once again, to go within and connect deeply. Take a breath or two. Let's take a moment to connect with this infinite fountain. You can close your eyes if you'd like. Just take another deep breath. As you inhale, feel the divine presence within you. Exhale anything troubling. Let's breathe it in again, the presence. And as you exhale any tension, any barriers that might be holding you back, now I'd like you to visualize yourself standing beside a clear fountain. Notice the water is calm yet ever flowing, and as you look into the water, you see a reflection of your highest self, pure, radiant, full of love and light. Now imagine this fountain is within you. Know that it's there. See it filling every part of your being with love, peace, and joy. Feel this fountain overflowing, touching every area of your life and radiating out into the world. Sit for a moment with the feeling for a moment, allowing it to deepen. Know that this fountain is always within you. Know that it's always there, always available to you. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes, bringing this sense of peace and abundance with you into this moment. So before we get into today's community sharing, I have a couple other things, brief things. Let's conclude this lesson with an affirmative prayer. I invite you to focus, I'll do it in the first person. So I invite you to focus on these words and let them resonate within you. So I'll say them in the first person. I recognize and I know that there is infinite spirit, omnipresent spirit, right here, right now. I know it's moving in and through all things. I give thanks for the light of joy within, acknowledging its presence in all. I affirm that this divine presence flows through me freely, guiding my thoughts, my actions, and my experiences. Again, I affirm this divine presence flows through me freely and abundantly, guiding my thoughts, actions, and experiences. I'm aligned with the highest good, allowing the infinite well of love within me to overflow and bless the world around me. I release any doubt, any fear, any barrier that would obstruct this flow, knowing that I'm fully supported by the universe. I celebrate the endless possibilities that are unfolding in my life right now, trusting in the perfect timing of spirit. And so it is. So before we turn the cameras over to each of you, where you have an opportunity to share, I'm going to leave you with a closing idea. A familiar quote that captures the essence of our discussion today. I'm sure some of you know it. No less than the trees and the stars, you have a right to be here. And whether or not it's clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. This quote reminds us that we're intrinsically connected to the universe and that the infinite fountain within us is a reflection of that boundless potential. May you carry this truth with you. And so it is. So we're going to turn the cameras over to you. Please share your demonstrations. And if you're new, we'd like to welcome you. So say your name and where you're from. No one's obliged to share. We usually have time for everyone for a minute or two. Thank you.